Hello everyone and welcome to dōTERRA U, the official podcast of dōTERRA Europe. Today I'm here again with Dr. David Hill for another episode for our podcast. While we're sitting here, we have the AromaTouch kit, so I feel compelled. And I have to ask you, can you take us down memory lane and tell us a bit more of when you thought about creating the AromaTouch?
Yeah, it was a very specific, it was two things that happened. One was as we went out now and I'm starting to share about the essential oils and teach about the essential oils. We were on our way as a company. It meant that I was gone a lot. And when I'd come home from traveling, I'd be exhausted. A lot of times I'm uncomfortable because I've been in the middle seat on an airplane for days on end. And my wife always being so kind, what can I do to help you? Can I put oils on you? What do you need? And she would do that, and it was always very helpful. But I began to think to myself, it seems like there should be a way that somebody, regardless of their knowledge or their experience or even their confidence to some degree, would be able to use essential oils for the benefit of somebody else that had results that were consistent, regardless of their circumstance, and they could do that safely. And that was the beginnings of my thought process. I should think of a way that people can use the oils with great confidence and could have that as being a part of their regular family routines. The other thing that happened is as I would be talking to people, of course, after I was done speaking, I would have this opportunity to visit with people, and they all had the same question: what do I do for? And I always had, and that was okay. I felt like that was a part of why I went. That we're all learning, and I need to be able to extend some of my own experience that way. And so I would share a lot of times very complicated things, and they would write it down dutifully. Okay, and
I was about to say, you could write a book.
And then do this, and then do this, and then do this, and they would walk away, I know, with lots of confidence. My suspicion became that they probably went home and were not able to accomplish everything that I gave them, because I would just give them everything that I knew. Oh, and don't forget about this, and don't forget about this. And it just becomes too complicated and too difficult at some point. Since then, I've learned a valuable lesson about the essential oils that I'll share. Simplicity is where the magic is. When we're really struggling with things, that is not the time to think about every oil under the sun and everything that I've ever learned. And using my own imagination, I'm going to use all 35 of these different essential oils. We overwhelm ourselves. And it's better to be very narrow and very focused and very simplistic so that we get not only consistency in the delivery, but we get consistency in the outcome. And that was another big triggering factor for me. And as those two things came together, those two thought processes, in my mind, the AromaTouch, which I didn't have a name for, the beginnings of that began to happen. And I would spend time consistently, not every once in a while, on my mind consistently, what does it need to address? And that's where I came up with the systemic constants. This was born out of all of my experience as a physician. My patients fit into those categories. And so I'm talking to people, these are the issues they're dealing with. And so I divided oils into categories and began experimenting with them. And it took about 1.5 years of consistent effort, but the AromaTouch was born. The very first AromaTouch class I taught was in New Jersey. I can't remember if it was in 2009. I don't remember if it was the beginning or the end of 2009. And I was scared out of my mind because nobody had ever seen this before.
Demonstrating this?
I taught it.
Oh, wow.
I was I think it was 49 people there, 48 or 49 people at this class I taught. And I walked them through how to do the AromaTouch. For me, that has been a remarkable journey, because here all these years later, it's exactly the same now as it was then. It works. It's powerful. It's effective. I felt like that was a special experience to be able to develop the AromaTouch. And it's been a powerful tool for people now to use in their homes and people they care for. We use it all the time. And I can't imagine using, to me, it's kind of core to foundational what I do on a regular basis to sustain my wellness, to sustain my health. And I like the delivery of it. I like the simplicity of it. You're not going to understand all the chemistry. You might not even understand all the physiology.
But maybe your body just understands it for you.
But yeah, you can do the AromaTouch and do it with great confidence. And so thank you for bringing that up because I love it. I'm going to talk a little bit about the AromaTouch over the next couple of days. But
amazing.
My invitation to people is try it. Try it. It is changing and it is sustaining of the things, the attributes that we need, those underlying tones of what our health really is. Yeah. And that's what it addresses.
That's beautiful. And can I ask you, were these oils always meant to be, or did you have any others?
Well, if you'd come into my office in the early day, you'd seen stacks of papers on my desk, all the research. I tend to draw on my office windows. That's where I do all of my thinking, and I like to leave it there because I generally can't solve something with just one approach, and so I migrate through. I remember when we launched the product Adaptive, in my mind, nobody asked me to do this, but I thought, I'm going to think through how and why this is working. And I have a whole bank of windows that go down the length of my office, and then on the other side of my office, they come down the whole length on that side. And I started in the far corner, and I worked my way all the way down, and then came all the way back down the other side. And I remember the day I was writing my last little note, and I thought, okay, that's why it works. I remember it was like this beautiful mind moment. I thought, I am crazy because this makes no sense.
You take pictures.
But then I left it there for a little while because I could just refer back to it and walk through it again. Yeah, no, that's still correct. And I made some micro adjustments to it. In the process, I made an important discovery about AromaTouch. There's some things about the AromaTouch that are just unexplainable. I even when I teach the AromaTouch, I sometimes tell people, I wish I could give you the reason why. I have some supposition as to maybe why I think that happens, but I can't explain all the reasons why you're going to experience what you're going to. It's a combination of touch, it's a combination of aroma, it's a combination of the chemistry of the oils. But through that process of working on what we did with Adaptive, I came to this conclusion. I thought, oh my gosh, this is one of the missing pieces for AromaTouch, linking into that process of neurotransmitter activation, aromatic activity within the body, and what that really means and how that works within multiple systems in terms of downstream effect and benefit. And it was a big aha moment, so much so I called up our AromaTouch team and said, I need to talk to you. You've been asking me this question for a long time. Let me walk you through why the AromaTouch does this. So I find these great parallels with the essential oils, which ironically is one of the things I'm going to get to talk about over the next couple of days. I'm going to talk about, let's begin to think about the essential oils in a different context. And hopefully it'll answer some questions for people about the most fundamental things. It's so funny to me that gone through all of this big criteria and all of this research and all of this study for all of these years, but it comes down to the most simplest of concepts. Like a year ago, I was sitting in my office and I went, really? This is all I needed to know all these decades ago? I only needed to know this? So I'm excited to share.
No spoilers.
No spoilers, but it's not some... There's big discoveries still to be made with essential oils, but in their value to us, it's going to come down to the simplest of things. And it's why I continue to remain, don't worry if you don't know all of the chemistry. Don't feel like you have to. Don't feel inadequate. You'll do just fine. Just trust your instincts, trust your experience, learn all that you can, of course, but don't feel like you have to know everything. And the AromaTouch fills one of those gaps for people as well.
I think it must be very empowering for people to just be able to, I not say just in inverted commas, to give this experience to people. That is a beautiful way. Like there's a beautiful way to start sharing the oils, start using the oils.
I think that is how most people would feel about the AromaTouch. They have this unique opportunity to do something for somebody else that you can't do for yourself. You can't do this for yourself.
No.
And I like that opportunity because there's power in helping somebody. There was lots of interesting research that's been done that talks about, they took a group of individuals with health challenges, a number of different health challenges, and they gave them service opportunities. In some cases, they gave service to somebody that they knew, and in other cases, they gave service to somebody that they didn't know. But in both cases, and the person, by the way, when you give service to somebody you don't know, the effects of that were more profound. And what the effect was, it was an improvement on their own health. And so a lot of the things that they were struggling with, some of the symptoms that they had, and they didn't solve any of their really bad issues, but their body had an improvement in its own health outcomes. And that was sustainable over time. And so I like that the AromaTouch fits that criteria for people and many people will say, I just feel better when I give somebody an AromaTouch.
And even just being there and inhaling the oils, you're still getting that beautiful aroma.
Well, you're still having your own oil experience, but that's accentuated also by giving of yourself to somebody. Yeah. Even if it's somebody you don't know, which I think we all have occasion for. Yeah. At times.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And if it's not the full AromaTouch, maybe it's the hand
technique. Of course. Yeah, absolutely. So I have a couple more questions for you.
You've been saying that for a while now. I just have a couple more questions.
I promise the last two.
Okay.
The first one is, how do you see the future of doTERRA? What does it look like for you?
I'm challenging. I can't think about the future of doTERRA without accepting the challenges that we're currently in and those that are yet ahead of us that unfortunately we don't know about. We always try to prepare the best way that we can, but we're just going to continue to face challenges. We're a multi-billion-dollar company all across the entire world. We're going to continue to face challenges, but we're up for the task and we're heavily involved in those tasks and we're making the right decisions, even though sometimes it's difficult, and it's not just difficult for us, but it permeates throughout the company. So I would ask everybody, be a little bit patient. We're dealing with hard issues and always will. But for me, that's kind of also the energy that comes from being willing to do hard things. We don't shirk that responsibility. We don't shy away from it. Oh, this is too hard. Let's not do that. Let's just ignore it. No, we're going to take them on and we're going to work our way through them. But in spite of that, that's one little piece of what we have. In my mind, there's no reason to think that we're still just beginning in doTERRA. We have a trajectory that tells us that that's the case, even though we have obstacles that are there. We believe that essential oils, the amount of people who know about doTERRA, who know about essential oils, there's a lot of people who think they know essential oils, but they don't know what we know, and that provides its own opportunity. But I have my most energy cycles around this idea that in doTERRA, there's been a lot of things that's unexplainable. It's difficult to explain all the reasons why we've had the success that we've had. It's difficult to explain why doTERRA becomes a part of them. It's a culture that they contribute to. It's an environment that resonates with them. Those are difficult things to explain. And that's where my real energy for the future comes. All the challenges, other things that happen, we'll just continue to move through those. But the real value of doTERRA, what's core and central to doTERRA, there's still millions of people who have no idea that that exists, and that if they did, they would want to be a part of that. And for me, that's where the excitement and energy. Look, I know it's hard to share essential oils with people, especially when they say, well, I can buy them for 1/10 of the cost. I know you can. Of course you can. But our cost is not built into because we're trying to do a money grab here. Our cost is built into these oils really are different. And we're trying to give people opportunity for that. And for me, that's where the real value of doTERRA is. I went through, last convention, I made a little bit of an announcement that I'm back in doTERRA. I think some people are like, wait a minute, I didn't know he left. I didn't leave. You know, you have to appreciate the fact that for decades I've been
constant
traveling nonstop, 300 days away from you, a year away from. I averaged.
Sounds exhausting.
I averaged 280. The lowest year I ever had was 286, 85 days.
I don't know how you did that. Honestly.
I don't know. We don't know how we did it either. But I averaged right at 300 days a year. I was gone away from my wife, my kids, my grandkids. I was at my breaking point. I needed to go home for a little bit, and I did. I went home and had some time with my family, which has been absolutely lovely. I want more of that. I want more of that. But here we are, and we're still working, and I'm still in the office full time. I'm doing lots of traveling. To be honest with you,
finding a new balance?
If I'm being vulnerable, more than I want to. I'm tired of missing grandkids' birthdays and other things. I want to be there for my family. But we're struggling to find this balance, which I'm relating this not for empathy. Please don't think that. I'm relating this because I don't think my journey is so different than anyone else who commits themselves to doTERRA, because it's going to take some effort to go out and to share and to teach and to have that become a part of what you're doing. And so my encouragement to people is to find where that balance lies for you. But don't tip the scale so far that doTERRA doesn't have value for you in what that proposition is. So yeah, I'm trying to find that balance too. But what an exciting future we have ahead of us. I believe that 100% with every fiber of my being. There was a time where I thought, oh man, things are so difficult and so hard. And where's the durability? I'm getting tired and others are getting tired. And where's our durability? But we have a whole new energy for that now. And we feel like we're moving in the right directions. Some people have said, so what's going to change in doTERRA?
How do you answer to that?
I hope we get more efficient. I hope we get better at what we're trying to do. But I hope we never change who we've been. We are essential oils, first and foremost in everything that we do. For those who are coming to convention, you're going to hear that loud and clear from me. This is who we are. We don't need to reinvent the company. Maybe we need to refresh ourselves. Maybe as individuals we need to do that. Maybe we need to remind ourselves. I have to do that on occasion. And yesterday, it was a great reminder for me, meeting those two different groups of wellness advocates as they shared their stories. My wife and I both, as we walked away, said, what a great reminder that is, that we're doing something that goes beyond ourselves. And we have some commitment to that. And it energizes us, even though we have all these other dynamics in our life that pull and push and we have to address and we have to deal with. That's not the future of doTERRA. The future of doTERRA is resolute within doTERRA. I tell my staff this sometimes, that the day comes when I'm going to be a very fond memory. You'll miss me terribly.
Don't say that.
And then I'm going to become a distant memory. And then you're not going to know who I am. I'll be a picture on a wall that an employee stands in front of one day and says, who's that?
But I think what you created will live on forever.
And that's the message.
Like
is
we as
that
employees, our wellness advocates, that will live
This
on
is
forever.
what we should all be excited about in doTERRA, is that it is going to go beyond us. I'm forever grateful for that I can call this a part of my legacy. I'm indebted to doTERRA because of that. I mean, we've sacrificed and we've put the work in, but I'm grateful for that, and so is my wife and my family. But I think the reality of it is that it has to live beyond us, or there is no future in doTERRA. And that's what I'm excited about, because I see it living and breathing in our wellness advocates, living and breathing in our employees, living and breathing in what is cultural and significant for people. It resonates with them. And it sounds altruistic in a way, but it really isn't if you experience that. And that will be your experience if you'll let that happen. Just go all in on doTERRA. And then you become a fond memory and a distant one. And then not even known. But what you have done, what you have contributed to lives on through somebody else. That, how can you not be excited about that future? That's what we work for. That's what we really believe.
I love that.
And if that makes me a dreamer, then I'm happy to be one.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm right there with you.
Because otherwise, it's somewhat meaningless.
Yeah.
If it's not something that can go beyond you, then it's somewhat meaningless and self-serving.
No, let us be dreamers.
Let's be dreamers.
Yeah, absolutely.
I agree.
Very last question. This is a little bit of a closing tradition, okay?
Okay.
I cannot leave this table without asking you, what are the top 3 kind of like desert island oils that you would take with you?
Cannot live without?
Yes.
It's going to surprise people.
Okay.
One won't surprise you at all, frankincense.
I was expecting
Sorry, frankincense is just the core of everything. I've been doing a lot of studying and noodling on frankincense, and I often say it's broad spectrum in its activity, and there's lots of reasons why that is. And so frankincense.
Okay.
The other one is turmeric.
Okay.
Which I thought, wait a minute, why turmeric?
Essential oils or capsules?
Well, if you would let me have the capsules, I'd take the capsules.
Okay.
I love the essential oil, but I like that we've done something so unique here where because, the botanical itself, turmeric, it has more than just the essential oil. And the other components of that, the curcuminoids themselves, are not really that readily accessible in the body. They're not bioavailable. And by combining that back with the essential oil and giving you this unique delivery, we've increased that more than 7-fold of the bioavailability of the curcuminoids that are found within that. So you get the benefit of the oils and the turmerones, which actually I'll talk a little bit about over the next couple of days. But you also get the value of all of the botanical. And for me, that's a mainstay. For the challenges that I have in my life, that's a mainstay. That's an everyday product for me. Yeah. The other product that's an everyday product for me, which is a do not miss, is copaiba. It's got some uniqueness associated with it. The beta-caryophyllene has some real value in how it interacts with the body. And it's like I'm approaching the same kind of challenges that I have through different pathways in the body. And so you might think, well, copaiba and turmeric are somewhat the same.
Doubling up.
Yeah, you're really not. You really aren't. There's other things that it does for you. And so for me, I've found this combination of those 3 things being extremely powerful. Now, I use a lot of essential oils. I really do, and because it's just such a part of my normal routine. If you come to my office, they're going to be diffused. If you come by my home, they're going to be diffused. Don't rub your head like you have a headache, because we're going to solve that problem for you. We're going to go through this. I have these more targeted solutions. I have these consistent needs that I have that arise throughout the day. My days are generally pretty stressful. And so I use a lot of oils to help keep myself calm, keep clarity as I move through my day and deal with some of the things that we work through on a regular basis. So I have all kinds of oils. Can I give you a different message here, which is going to catch people off guard? I'm always so careful when I say this, and I wonder whether or not I even should sometimes.
Go ahead.
When we started the company, we launched 10 oils that we had found, and some that we had formulated into blends. Do you know that I could do everything I need to do with
those 10?
Pretty much.
Only those 10?
Pretty much.
Oh, wow.
Now, the thing that always catches people off guard with is that, well, but I really like adaptive, or I really like serenity, or Citrus Bliss is my favorite. I mean, what do you mean? They're not, I'm not saying they're not valuable. We have a lot of oils because people have a lot of preference. And so we don't have a citrus oil. We've got a lot of citrus oils, maybe too much. But I think in our own usage, we have to really find what works best for us. And it's okay if that represents 8 or 10 oils for you. Maybe it's a little bit more because of your family dynamic. And gosh, when I take in my spouse and all my kids and all my grandkids, I need like 40, 50 oils. But don't feel bad about, these are my go-to oils. These are the oils that I use consistently. We have a large array of essential oils, sometimes to meet dynamics with our health. This is very specific for this. Digest Zen, for example, or Zenjust. I say that, and it means, you know exactly what that means. And we have different oils that fit into that, but then we have a lot of other oils that just represent personal preference. So find where that preference is. But for me, those are the 3 that I just can't go without. Yeah, it catches people off guard, but there's lots of others that I use every single day. Citrus oil, I don't know how you can just limit me to 3, because you've got to have a citrus oil daily. You really do. There is some daily use models that you just have to pay attention to because they're building this foundational aspect of what your body needs. And we'll learn more about that in the coming days and months. We'll learn more about that.
That's brilliant.
Can I just say a couple more things before?
Yes.
I just want to tell everybody thank you, and not just on my own behalf, on behalf of myself and my partners, all of us here at doTERRA. I also have to mention our families, not just my family, but it takes a lot of effort for people to be fully engaged in doTERRA and everything that needs to happen. And we want you to know how appreciative we are of all of your efforts, because we know it's not easy, but also we're very excited about where we're headed to and where our future will take us. So thank you to all of you.
Yeah, thank you again. It's been such a pleasure. I feel very, very lucky to have been able to have this conversation with you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for letting me join you today.
Absolutely.
Hope to see you all soon.
See you guys soon.